Hello, hello, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. We'll let everybody dial in. Hello,
We'll
hello,
let
hello.
everybody dial in. We'll let everybody, watch, give time to come and watch this live right here. And then I'm just gonna check messages right now because I've noticed a bunch of people have started messaging me. How do we join the live? When is it? And so I'm just saying it just
Surprise!
started.
Surprise, it's right now. Yeah, and that's the fun part, right? Is we like to be a little bit we plan things, but we're also a little impromptu about things. And it's really we allow spirit to guide us in regards to the messages and the information that we bring forth. And we spend a lot of time talking about over the last week looking at the stuff that's happening today with Pluto. And Pluto is a little tiny planet or a Disney dog, depending upon how you want to look at it. And Pluto moves very, very slowly through the different houses on the astrological charts. And I am not an astrologer by any means, so please take what I say with a grain of salt. If it resonates, great. If not, just disregard it. But we've been spending a lot of time talking about how this change in the house change that Pluto's going through, how that's going to impact because it only changes like every 15 to 20 years. It's very slow moving. It's not like the moon, we're used to the moon cycles and every
Yeah.
day we've got new things happening. But Pluto moves very slowly. So the influence that it has on us is more of a generational influence. I
Yeah.
guess that's the best way to describe it. So, Michelle, do you want to add anything to
Yeah,
that?
yes, I'm
Okay.
super super excited. We're gonna do a little like secret, I kind of a secret space in a little bit. I just want to make sure everyone has time to kind of sign on before we do this. And feel free to comment if you're watching this live or you're watching the replay. And one of the things, right, that we decided, Dawn and I decided to talk about Pluto moving into Aquarius is because this is such an exciting time, right? We are moving away from Capricorn. And Capricorn is kind of like the top down kind of energy. It's not just top down, it's also a sort of like a me energy, like a me first energy. Aquarius, on the other hand, it's all about collective consciousness and community. And it's also Aquarius is a rebellious energy. So it's also about rebelling against a lot of social structure, a lot of beliefs and paradigms. So if you think about, you think about all of us have been talking about this new earth energy and this golden age, it really feels like the age of Aquarius sort of has this kind of energy where we are awakening to this new paradigm of consciousness. And the cool thing about this is in the spiritual community, we have been talking about this for a while. We have been preparing ourselves for this new earth energy. But moving into Aquarius, this means on the collective level, and this is huge. That's why it's so exciting. On a collective level, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your children, all going to feel it, right? So this is going to happen on not just an individual level, because Aquarius is about community. So it's about collective
Community.
consciousness,
Yeah.
higher mind. It's about social awareness. And so, yeah, and so it's really cool. And Pluto is kind of the planet of transformation, death, and rebirth. So if you put Pluto and Aquarius energy together, we are in for some very, very deep spiritual awakening. And it's what Dawn said, right? It's a slow moving energy, so for the next 20 years, this is the energy we are going to be in. And so what does this mean for us individually? And what does this mean for the collective? Because I don't know about you, but Dot and I are super excited because we're like, this is what we call the awakening, right? This is really the awakening and ascension of light workers. I feel like this is a huge call like the universe is putting out this call to all of us, right? Who carry the light of God, who carry the light of God, or carry the radiant light, is what I like to call it, right?
Yeah.
To awaken, step into our purpose, and really like answer the call to be light workers, and so this is like no more hiding, because what's going to happen in the next 20 years is there is going all of us are going to feel this energy, this deeper awakening and paradigm shifts. So yeah,
Yeah,
Don,
it's
you want to
super
add?
duper exciting. Yeah, I do. I do want to add a little bit before we move on to the next piece. But the way that it was shown to me is it's that deep understanding of self. So never underestimate the power of healing yourself. We've talked about this time and time again. It's all about if you do nothing else but work on yourself, that is definitely more than enough. It's all about the self. And so deepening into that self-expression, that self-healing and allowing yourself and giving yourself grace. And it's what they showed me before the call was like an Easter egg hunt. And everybody's going to have their own little personal Easter egg hunt where they go and they find these beautiful pieces of information and gathering this information, healing certain things that we need to heal, and just bringing it all forward into your space, into your world, and getting curious about it, which I know we've talked about multiple times. But it's all about just deepening in that understanding in a completely supportive way,
Right, yeah.
because the universe is they're like, hey, the bus is going this way and you're coming with, okay? And we're like, oh, okay. Because it's, this is what we love to do. But because we love to do it doesn't necessarily mean that our friends and family know, understand, want to do it. And so there might be some hiccups along the way as they start to uncover and look at things from a completely different perspective. Because as you know, as stewards of earth, as living upon Mother Earth, and we've talked about the ascension process before, she is vibrating at a specific frequency. And through the ascension process, the vibration is going up, the frequency is going up. And so the invitation is for ours to also rise, which brings things up to be healed, and we step through that, and then we bounce up and down our little ladder as we learn, and it's all individual journeys. Michelle's journey is different from Dawn's journey, which is different from other people's journeys, and that's perfect because it's all about you and what direction you want to go in. And that's the beauty of it. And that's why it's so exciting.
Yeah.
It's just, I find it utterly exciting, fascinating.
So couple of things as Don was talking. So here a couple of things that I received. So if you are the person who loves writing, keep a journal. So number one, have a journal that is, so what the message I'm receiving is, make that journal kind of secret. So meaning that don't put it with your recipes or whatever or your diary. Have a journal, and you can create this journal that is just, it could be a dream journal, it could be an insights journal, spiritual journal, whatever. But this journal is really for you to reflect. And so kind of because again, right, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. And can I pronounce it correctly? I'm not even going to try. But it's the planet of kind of like enlightenment, right? And it really is shift in perception. So when I talked about awakening us to a new paradigm of consciousness, what's going to happen is you are going to, in the next 20 years, but starting now, in fact, it's already started, right?
Yeah, it's
Um,
already started.
to break free from outdated mental and spiritual frameworks. So what does it mean by outdated mental frameworks? It means questioning your beliefs, questioning uh, the systems and the structure, questioning things. This means like questioning really your programming and conditioning. And so this is so having a journal where you can even slowly think about, all right, just the way your thought has evolved, this will be very, very profound for you, even by the next year. And so the reason they say to keep a journal and start writing in this journal, but this journal should be like sort of sacred and committed and dedicated to this. because they're saying that in the next few years, or even just a year, 2025 is going to be big. That's the energy I keep feeling. Towards the end of 2025, you're going to look back and you're going to be, wow, your shift in perspective has changed so much. So, Aquarius is really the energy of Aquarius is about radical ideas, revolutionary ideas, right? Thinking outside the box. And so, this energy, you may feel pushed to start questioning a lot of the beliefs in society, so like social norms, gender norms, whatever norms, you may start questioning it already. And you may start questioning the way you were brought up, the way, you were taught to talk to yourself or talk to others. So keep that journal. And so it's an invitation right now to really question a lot of things because I think of this energy as a tower moment. We are rebuilding a new society or rebuilding, ushering a new consciousness or a new energy. Then the old has to crumble away, right? And so we are still holding on to the old. The old does not want to leave, right? So we are the change makers is what I was told. And sorry, I'll let you talk, Don. The other second thing that I received, because our Akashic records are open right now, and Uriel, Archangel Uriel, has really stepped in. I've been connecting with Archangel Uriel since yesterday, and he represents the light of God, the wisdom of God. And so one of the things that I received was people on the call, whether you're watching it on the replay or whether you're watching it live, you are going to be called to be support systems and leaders, really, change makers within your own family. Because this energy that's going to happen, right? It's this collective awakening, as we talked about. Your mother is going to feel it, your brother is going to feel it, your neighbor is going to feel it, right? Normal. Not a lot of people are going to start awakening and start questioning, and they're going to be like, yeah, people
What does
have
this
questions.
mean? Yeah.
Yes,
What
exactly.
does
But
this
there's going to
mean?
be a lot of confusion. Going to be a lot of discomfort because we know
Yeah.
people are resistant to change, right? And if they start questioning things like, this is no longer working for me, they may be like, well, what is my new identity? Where can I go? So they will turn to you. So that's what the other message is, this is really the awakening of the light workers, and you are called, because you are already further along in your spiritual journey. You're already interested in this, right? Um, you may feel called to be that light, to kind of usher people. So all of us have different roles. You may be called to be a change maker. You may be called to be a leader, a way shower, a healer, different, an oracle, but you will be called to step up. I'll let you continue, Don, because but I was shuffling cards and two cards flew out of the deck. So I'm really excited to talk about it a little bit.
Ooh,
I'll let you
very
continue though.
nice. Very nice. Yeah, so I just wanted to pop in and talk about community a little bit. Because
Yes.
we have this community for Soul Ascension Gateway that Michelle and I help to foster spiritual awakening, spiritual growth, and just have a safe community for everyone. So it's about understanding that community, going forward over the next couple of decades is going to be very important community. There's power in numbers, and there's when your soul, when you're connected on a soul level with people, it helps to, not only do you feel safer, but helps it helps to send out energetics, frequencies, that also help other people. So even if you are located in one area and there isn't anybody in your area that you feel connected to, that you can connect with others through this group, you can always reach out to Michelle or I, as I volunteer Michelle for that. But community is going to be a big part of what we do forward, moving forward. And so don't be shocked if your community changes a little bit too. As you try new things and discover new
Yeah.
things and broaden your horizons.
Yeah.
And those and it's nothing bad. But it's that type of energy that's coming in, and it's about getting out of that head space and moving into that heart space and leading with love and following your true heart's desires, which, when you truly allow yourself to slow down and you go deep within, you already know where it is that you're where you're headed. You already have an idea of what direction you're moving in. And it's about allowing that and trusting that and getting to know yourself on a completely different level.
Well, yeah,
Very
because I
much.
love that you mentioned community because again, Aquarius, right? If Capricorn is about me and the top down, right? Aquarius, it's about us, community. So it makes perfect sense if you've noticed, and I've noticed this in the spiritual community, just like this year alone, right? People were talking about sisterhood. People are
Mhm.
talking about finding community and wanting to be in community. In fact, right, we already felt a little bit of the energy after the pandemic, like last year. People wanting to be in community because we really are already feeling the energy of the Aquarius, right? And so you will be, if you feel called to be in person with community, do that. You may feel called to do retreats, to go and find your tribe and soul family outside of your own network. 100% you are not alone. A lot of us are searching. And so we built this community, this Facebook community, and there are so many others out there as well. So find your tribe. And the one thing, the when we activate our light within us, we recognize other people's light as well.
Mhm.
But what is most like what the message I'm getting is that all of us carry different frequency of light,
Mhm.
but we may resonate on a similar level. And so my light may be attracted to your light attracted to my light, and not others. And that's okay. And so that's what the message I'm receiving is as we become clearer and activate more of our light against what Dawn's saying, from here
Yeah.
into your heart, right? Once we know our purpose and we feel comfortable being our authentic self, our light recognizes other people's light. And then
Yep.
we come into community. And as what Dawn said, we are stronger together. All the light workers coming together becomes this huge
Yep.
flame.
Well, and
No
that's
longer, yeah, a fire, a big bonfire in the dark that attracts other people and
other
show
people.
other people the way home. And when I mean home, I mean home back to yourself, to your higher self. And then the new understanding that we are all connected. Because again, and I'm sorry to cut you off, just want to
That's okay.
finish my thought, Don. It is this the collective spiritual awakening. Part of that is recognizing that we are all one. Is this
It's the
greater
oneness.
awareness of
Yeah.
this? Yes, yes,
The
this
oneness.
interconnectedness that again, right? We
Yeah.
are not individual, isolated on an island by ourselves. We are part of the human race. We are not just part of the human race. We are connected to Mother Nature. We are connected to Mother Earth. We are connected to the animals, like our plants. It is this shift towards, yeah, and that
Yeah.
part, that's what they were showing me is that all the light workers coming together, huge bonfire that really activates everyone else in our sphere of influence. And they kept saying that you are here to answer the call. And like, so light workers answer the call.
Ring a dingy, a ring
Yeah,
a
go
dingy.
ahead.
Oh, that's so funny. So yeah, so while you were saying all of that, my theme song, which everybody knows, is This Little Light of Mine, I'm Gonna Let It Shine, right? And so that is my theme song, and I'm like, oh, now I understand why that's my theme song, because
Yes.
it's really to help help other people shine their light. But one of the things that I channeled recently in a healing was, my light sees your light, we ignite each other, and together our light ignites a new world. And
I love the
when
new world.
yeah,
Yeah.
and when that came in, I thought it was specific for the healing that was going on. But when that reminded me of when you were saying, when you were talking, Michelle, that reminded me of it. And I was like, oh no, that's our theme. That is the theme for where we're headed, where we're going. So not only is that, this little light, I'm gonna let it shine, my theme song. It's like my clarion call now. And I'm setting an intention right now, that my light shines as bright as it can, so that I find my tribe within me, but also across this entire planet, because
Yeah.
it feels really important to ask for it, set that intention for it, and then gently allow it and let it unfold. In my hands, my Reiki is just triggering like crazy right now because it's literally, I can feel it reaching out across the globe,
Yeah.
reaching out, and hands touching hands, that song,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's literally that connection
That
is forming
interconnected. Yes.
that network,
Yes.
and it's global. It's not
Yes.
just
Yes.
here.
It's
So
no longer just us
it's,
anymore,
yeah,
right?
that's the
It
beauty
and
of it.
that's the thing that the image that I got was for years, it's almost like the healer becomes a sage, right? We're in the cave, we're meditating by ourselves, we're trying to receive information, communing with, like a creator energy, but it's individual. And now Aquarius is pushing us to be in connection with everyone else so that unitedly, you can use the word united, that we channel this. So it's no like it's yeah, the energy just feels different, right? Like we are being invited to be more and do more. So one of the things, another message I've got is, and I'm looking at some of the
Oh, you can see the
messages here
comments? Yeah,
too.
I can't see the
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah. I'm looking at the comments. I think the comments is a little slow too, and so there's a little delay. But some of you have talked about wanting to find your tribe and doing, already doing that. And so I really encourage you now, if you feel this, like I want to start a Facebook group, I want to start a community, be it in person, an email, a book club, whatever, right? Do it because this is a good way for you to form stronger connection. And then again, it's the idea of oneness, interconnectedness, interdependency too, right? Ian asked a good question. What roles are there besides healing and communication? The first word that came to mind, so when you said that, the first message I got was leadership. And actually interesting that what they used was authority. And so I was like, authority, what does that mean? It was leadership and being, and so we all have different roles is what I'm being shown. It's like some of us are the ones who are going to spread the wisdom. That's the communication part. They're going to be teachers, they're going to be gurus or authors, whatever. And then others are going to be more like healers, and others are way showers, change makers, different ways that we can show up, and different ways you may feel called to show up, but we're all light workers. But when you said that, the word they used was leadership, leadership and positions of authority, meaning that if there are places when we carry the light within, and if we are meant to or feel called to step into positions of power, by I mean power, it could be a leader in your community, it could be a boss in working in a department, whatever, where there is some sort of authority, you get to have that opportunity to shape things. And then that means shaping policies within your company. This is more practical. Yeah. Or if you have your own business, you may feel called to start a spiritual
Yeah,
business. And so that itself, again, is leadership, right? And then you get to shape the business and the employees you hire in any way you want. That is very much, all about this idea of community, right? And the idea of like we are stronger together, shared resources. A lot is a very Aquarius energy as well. And so that, I think, for you, Ian, so if that's what you feel caught to, definitely, because we, yeah, that the idea of like seeding and being as light workers carrying the light in places where we can make change is very important. And by change, I keep hearing the word policies and practices. And so there is a very practical side to it, not just a spiritual side to it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yay. One of so in addition to doing healing work, there's also community service. You can never go wrong with volunteering your time, or volunteering or donating. So whatever works best within your schedule, whatever that represents for you, there's nothing bad that can happen from that is the way I'm going to say it. Community service is, however that is for you, whatever that represents for you is always a good answer. When in doubt, volunteer. That's the way
But
I look at it.
the
When in doubt, volunteer.
the other thing that I got, and this is interesting, because Aquarius is about thinking outside the box, right? It's about radical ideas. It's about, really breaking down structures and paradigms, right? Ushering new. What I received is don't be afraid to connect with people who are different from you. And and here's the thing. So the word they use was also discernment. When I say the word they use, I mean specifically Uriel, because I'm channeling him right now. And so when we move from a place of here and we shift away from ego, right, into ourselves right here, um, and carrying this, I'm just gonna say channel what I'm being given, carrying the light of God. And God is creator energy. This is a very radiant, pure light that really reminds us of our oneness and really remind us that there's no duality. The idea of separation, our 3D self from our 5D self, it's an illusion, right? And so it's the idea of like there's no part of it is also collapsing duality. And people have been talking about this for a while, but you are going to feel it really strongly, slowly, in the next 20 years, if this real collapse, this separation is an illusion, right? And so they're saying when we carry this light of God, right, and when we feel we may be called to go to places that may be far away from our tribe. By tribe, they mean our comfort zone. Not all of us may be called to do this, but some of us will be called to go to people or places or community that's different from us to kind of spread that what they're using is love, compassion, and empathy, so that we'll remind other people of the word they're using is humanity, of what truly makes us great as human beings. Because again, our soul decided to incarnate right now as Pluto is moving into Aquarius. And like, and we are not children, right? So we are adults that we can make decisions and make, you get what I mean? I mean, like, we're not 5-year-old kids. Our soul decided to be adults at this time, meaning that there's a reason for that. So,
You're so
um,
funny.
but yeah, that's true. So it's about the unity consciousness, and that's the message I'm receiving, that for some of you, you may be called to go to places where they may not be your tribe, but it is your purpose. It is your purpose to share and spread, to remind other people of our oneness, right? That we are not different. Yeah,
This
to
little
remind
light
us
of
of our
mine.
similarity. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about shining your light. It's all about shining your light and finding your tribe and connecting with those people. And so there's going to be some, I'm going to use the word experimentation because that's what came screaming through. Trying on new things that you've not tried before.
Yes, yeah.
And it's
Outside your
it's it's
comfort
about,
zone,
yeah,
meeting people, you're like, oh, because you may be
yeah.
like, well, I love, pop music. I don't want to be with those people who like rock
I'm going to go
music.
learn to square dance.
Yeah, but
Right?
yeah, but
Something
you may
different
be
that I normally wouldn't do every day.
right.
Um,
It's yeah,
But you're going to find your
it's that
tribe
idea.
by, yeah, you're going to find the tribe, the people, you're going to find those beautiful souls that you're meant to interact with doing doing things that you've not allowed yourself to do. And it's all about expansion. Again, following that heart, following the heart, following the heart.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
New space, new
yeah.
space.
The idea with the duality thing again, one of the things that is really important to convey is the the idea or kind of like the realization that, again, because they're showing me the cave, right? We used to be in caves, meditating alone, communing with God, like by ourselves, right? But it is this idea that when we do for ourselves, we heal the collective as well. Again, that is that no duality, there's no separation. Um, Again, a lot of people in the spiritual world have been talking about this for some time now, but you may be asked to share that information with your neighbors, your brothers or sisters, people who are starting to like awaken, right? So the Aquarius energy is really about embracing this idea that our own personal healing and awakening is really tied to the awakening and the evolution and the healing of those around us. So as we heal ourselves, as we let go of the fears,
Mm.
the trauma, the pain, anything that's kept us angry and small and fear, right? As we do that, we step up, right? We become a newer person, holding a brighter light, and then we're able to do that for others around us. So that's what they keep saying is
Yeah,
that there's no separation between your personal healing and again that interconnect right?
yeah.
We are connected to everybody and so many things that when we heal, they heal as well.
Yeah, so I had a very profound thing happen to me. I was this weekend. I channeled some stuff, and I was like, wow, it really came in, and I was like, okay, what is all this? But basically, it was talking about the ascension process itself, and it was about allowing yourself, we're all, and I don't know if I'm repeating myself with other stories, I apologize, but these analogies
I
always seem to work
apologize.
well. But
Yeah.
we're all born with a specific set of lenses that we view life through, right? And so through the ascension process, we have experiences and we start to change our prescription, change our lenses. And so we get our new lenses and then we will often experience the same thing that we just went through again with that new perception. So it feels kind of like going up and down a ladder, up and down the stairs, right? We go up and then we go back down and then we go back up and then we go back down. But we're learning with with the new perception, the new prescription that we have. And so there's a series of how that kind of bounces back and forth. And so you've got multiple things that you do in your life because we all have multiple
Yeah.
personas that we are, whether we're a wife or a daughter or a sister or a friend or, whatever a mom, grandma, whatever it is, we all have these different roles that we play. And all of them are all happening at different levels and different times. And so we have all these different, it's like, you know, how do I look at the world? Well, I don't know how do I look at the world? Who am I right now? Is what I ask myself. I'm like, who am I? What role am I trying to be? Who am I trying to please? And then I was like, wait, stop. It's not about that anymore. And so it's about learning how to view through the lenses that we have, knowing that we're going to be experiencing things going up and down simultaneously. And that's teaching us to move from the head space into the heart space, which expands, expands, expands. And then before Michelle and I got on the call today, there was, because I will often feel things in my body. And I was feeling some discomfort again. And I'm like, oh, ouch, what is that? And again, it's not discomfort, it's expansion that's happening in different areas that I just haven't identified as expansion until I take a deep breath and I stop and I pause. And I allow myself to go, okay, what's really happening here? What's really happening? And it's expansion energy that's coming through. So all of this is all playing out simultaneously. And I forgot where I was going with it.
It's about it's I think you're trying to say that this is the importance of healing and
Yeah, there you go. Thanks. Yeah, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine again. Because the more we do, the more we talk about, the easier it will be for other people to begin their
Yeah.
journeys. And it's not our responsibility to fix other people. That's not our job. Our job is to get curious about ourselves and just do what we can and
Yeah.
then allow the rest to take care of itself. That's the grace
100%.
part. That's the grace
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
That exactly. I think what you said, right? It is not our job to heal or help everybody. They need to. They need to want to heal and they need to want to help themselves. The message I keep hearing right now, for the people who are watching the replay or the people right here, because I feel very much that we are talking to light workers. Whether you identify as a light worker or not, you may not identify, but you may be curious, right? So I always say, people who are awakened and people who are curious. And so there are a lot of people who are curious right now, but they are already feeling the energy, right? And so the message is really because they keep saying is an invitation, it's a call, right? A call to you. Do you want to pick up the phone? We all have free will. You don't have to pick up the phone, but the phone will keep ringing.
Yeah.
And so, because for me and for Dawn, the phone kept ringing and until we were like, what is it? And so it won't stop. And sometimes it gets really loud and you just have to be like, okay, okay. But the phone is going to start ringing. You may already hear a small little thing in the distance. It's going to get louder and louder. But that is what they're saying. It's a call for those who are curious to really step into, feel comfortable being, because it feels like for some people, it scares you because it feels like responsibility. And this is past life. It is past life fear. Some of it I'm feeling is past life fear because you feel like if you step into this role as a light barrier or a light keeper, so light keeper, light barrier, a light bringer, one of those where you carry the light, right, in different ways, it feels like a lot of responsibility. And so for some people on this call or watching the replay later, there is some fear. And so the angels are saying, that they will keep bringing and there are resources around. So Dawn and I, for instance, this community is a resource for you. Dawn and I offer services. We have Reiki programs, right? And we are not the only ones that offer this, right? There's so many others out there. If you feel called to learn, to heal, to really expand your spiritual understanding and spiritual toolkit. But that's what the angels are saying. Like it's time to answer the call because it will continue to ring. And then for others who already answered the call and ready on their spiritual journey, it really is what they're using is refining your light, right? By refining, I mean making it like stronger, more refined because we more refined in your purpose so you know exactly what your role is and how you're going to fit in. And again, they're saying the role isn't permanent. We may move, in and out of certain roles, but right now to gain clarity of like what what is your main modality? What feels what do you feel called to? Are you a Reiki person? Are you an Akashic person? Are you none of the above? That's fine, but it's about refining your light, and refining the message. What are you here to share? That's what they say, it's to refine. And part of that refinement, it's also working with your shadow self, because the more we work on our shadow self, the more light we can hold, the more precise we are with our message and where we are going. So that was
Yeah.
what came through. I'll let you
Yeah.
continue because I want to talk about these two cards later that flew out of the deck. But yeah, go ahead.
No, I was, as you were talking about that, it reminded me of light bodies and how, our energetic bodies are such an important part of who we are, and taking care of our energetic bodies and understanding our energetic bodies and how we fluctuate is the word that they just gave me, fluctuate within our daily observation of the world, and getting curious about it and learning about it. So one of the things that Michelle and I do is yeah, we do teach Reiki if that's something that you guys are interested in. But Reiki is great because it teaches you how to begin to work with energy. And that's what they're kind of showing me now, because we've got a lot of different people on different paths and everybody does something a little bit different. And it's all beautiful, and it's there, there should be no judgment. And so if there is judgment, we give yourself permission to deepen into that and get curious and curious about it a little bit, because there's we are so much bigger and braver than what we allow ourselves to be, is the
Yeah.
message.
Yes,
That was a
we
long-winded
absolutely
way there.
are. Yeah, yes. And so, again, right, it's about finding your community, but it really is about stepping into your light.
Allowing yourself to,
Again,
giving yourself
yeah,
permission to step into
to
it.
step
Yeah,
into this light. And so if
yeah,
you feel, because I keep feeling resistance from some people because it feels like a heavy burden and a heavy
yeah,
responsibility, it's past life. I keep feeling that there's
yeah.
um, past life hold on that, meaning to release some of that, right? They may also be ancestral kind of
That's what I
beliefs.
just saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's ancestral and past lives. So it's some of you may have both, some of you may one of the other was stronger, but ancestral beliefs around spiritual work,
Hmm.
ancestral beliefs around, yeah, religious, oh, I should say religious, but religion is part of
Yeah.
it. But um ancestral beliefs around, yeah, around religion, around spiritual work, around even stepping into service, and what does it mean to
Hmm.
be of service. So there may be
Yeah.
judgment from your family that's like, right, and then you may carry those judgment, right, or they may be persecution within the family, um ancestral persecution, because we see that a lot as well, right? Where grandparents or grandmother were very, very spiritual, and people thought she was crazy and institutionalized her, right? So I have worked with people who have those baggages, and it make it really hard for them to step in. But if
Hmm.
you feel that calling, that strong push, but you have that resistance, definitely reach out to us, drop a question here, talk to us in the, talk, you can talk to Dawn and I privately. You can post a
Yeah.
question in the Facebook group and we can answer, but be curious about it, because we are here to help shift all of that,
Yeah.
to help you feel more confident to step in, because we like you, right? Dawn and
Hmm.
I were called to do this work and to step up. But I'm telling you, both of us were so scared until the dragons came in, because the dragons are
Yeah.
definitely here. Dragons are here to help us move and ride this wave into Aquarius, right? So
Yes.
we're going to ride it and we're going to have fun. We're not going to drown and be like, like how the tide, you can either go like spinny, 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 right? Or you can ride it, like a surfer, right? So we're choosing to ride it like a surfer instead of just
We're
being like
choosing the adventure.
tumbling. Yes,
Yeah,
instead
we're
of like
choosing the
being
adventure.
stuck in the tide and just being tumbled around, right? So that's why. And you may feel you may be called to do that for other people who are sucked under the tide and going in that spinning loop. You may be called to be that surfer. I don't know why I'm using all this water analogy, but the surfer saying, take my
Because it's all
hand.
emotions. It's all
Oh yeah, you're right. Because
that's where we're going
Aquarius is about
first. Yeah. Where That's
well,
where we're going
Aquarius is
first is
air, but yeah.
emotions. Yeah.
Um, so okay, so Aquamarine Dragon from Neptune.
Hmm.
This was the first card that flew out of the deck. And I thought it was really cool because it is about allowing you to tap into your deepest soul wisdom. It is about helping tap into, and this reminds me a lot of water dragon. Actually, I feel a lot of water dragon energy, and water dragon is all about intuition for me. It's about emotion, going with the flow, and it is really about, yeah, going with the flow, about water, about cleansing, and this water dragon is holding a key, and this is your key. This is the key to your inner wisdom. It feels like it's, like how it's here, the key to your higher self, unlocking the key to your higher um, the higher consciousness and your higher self. This is the energy. And these three
Yeah.
cards are for the collective today in our Facebook group, for those who are watching the replay and those who are here. But so when I say collective, I mean in our Facebook group. And it's about spirituality and wisdom are available to you with this key, the key that unlocks your inner wisdom.
Yeah.
Because they're showing me the gate and your higher self is behind that, but you hold the key. You already have it, my friends. Um,
In the way the
Develop your psychic abilities. It's also an invitation to develop your psychic abilities and allow you to channel and access your soul knowledge and wisdom. Okay,
Okay.
Dawn, sorry.
So yeah, no, that's okay. Because as you were bringing that through, there was a whole bunch of stuff that came in, and it was pretty potent. But
Yes.
the key itself is kind of like picture yourself in armor and picture yourself having a like a keyhole in your heart space, and that key goes into it so that you can remove the armor and bring in this freedom, this expansiveness, because it's all about expansion and moving out and allowing yourself to be that big, that we were talking about earlier, allowing yourself to take up more space. And it's all moving in that direction. So there's a lot coming in for everyone on that. So whatever you're getting is perfect for you. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I love that. The armor, is it ego?
It's kind of some of it is self-protection from the ego, but other parts of it are just trying it's like the emotional walls that we build around us because we're
Yeah.
coming through that heart. And so when we're going through that heart, we have to address all of those unfelt emotions, all of those unprocessed emotions. And so it's a combination of both. So when you think
Mm,
about it, it's a vessel that holds things, kind of I'm seeing like a watering can,
yeah.
that type of a metal. But it also is restricted because it doesn't allow you to get any bigger. You can only hold so much in it. But when you unlock it and you open it, the freedom to be, it changes from water to a vapor, and then you can take up more space. Does that make sense? So there's like a transformative process that people are about to journey through and on. Some people have already started it, and some people are going to get curious and start to just question things and be like, oh, and that's going to be enough to start it. Again, you guys, it's a 20-year process. So we don't all have to dive into the deep end right now.
Yeah.
It's whatever it is for you is perfect.
Yeah. And the second card that flew out of the deck, and I thought this is really cool. I work with Lyrian dragons a lot, so I'm like, this is great. But it is about connecting you to the highest Christ light and about developing. And so this, I love this because it's a yellow golden dragon. I work with the golden dragon a lot, and so I just love it. Right? This is a white and gold dragon from Lyria. And again, because we've been talking so much, because Uriel stepped in and before this session and connecting with him, right? And so for me, I was like, what? This is great timing that this flew out because this is about Christ light. And we talked about holding the light of God or the God, like God mean creator energy, divine consciousness, right? And this is about bathing in this multi-dimensional Christ light that is about compassion, discernment, truth, authentic truth, right? And so part of this moving into this Aquarius too, right? This energy of Aquarius really is, right? As we move into this energy again, right? The idea of things that want to hold on to old structures, of old system, old beliefs, right? The idea of one, like, me and me only versus the idea of all of us. right? And so the discernment coming in of like what is, like what you mentioned, that, we talk about the armor, right? What are messages, you know, from a place of control? What is the messages that may be from places of control, maybe from places of greed, maybe from places of fear? And when I say control and greed, a lot of it is fear based, about scarcity and wanting to hoard, right? Um, and so, the me instead of all of us. And so, knowing and discerning the messages
Discernment. It's
is
all about the
discernment.
discernment.
Yeah, because you
Yep.
talked about divine discernment, and that is
Yep.
very, very important. Will be more in this age of Aquarius. And so the more we go within, the more we refine our light, the more we connect with source, the more we can tell the difference, between, is that person saying this for
It's
other
your own,
reasons?
yeah, it's like it's
Or
your
is
own
this for my
inner
greatest
truth.
good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
It's
is
like
this
your
for the
own inner
greatest and highest
yeah.
good?
Yeah.
It's about
Yeah.
inner compass is what they
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
what you what I saw when you were describing that was like a billboard that you see on the expressway, right? And the billboard, and you drive by it, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I see that message, whatever." And you're like, "Okay." But then what I saw was climbing up the scaffolding to get to the billboard itself, and seeing fine print on the bottom that was written there, but it took work for me to get there. And I was like, well, what exactly does that mean? Because that's a pretty weird analogy, right? First, I can see the big sign. I'm just driving by and I catch the meaning of the sign. But now I'm stopping. I'm slowing down. I'm traveling. And then I'm seeing a message within a message is basically what it boils down to. And I was like, what does that actually mean for this? And what they're saying is it's about the prescription, the lenses that we look through, because some of them we choose and some of them we were given to have specific experiences. And the lenses that we view the world through are going to be challenged in different and unique ways to help
Yeah.
our spiritual growth.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen at the individual and it's going to happen at the collective, which is this is what makes everything interesting, right? Because it's like, now I am a lover of this kind of stuff. So I am like, yeah, please, I want to how because I'm always trying to figure out how can I better myself? What was I not understanding in that situation? I always take a step back and look at things and try to discern, okay, was it me? Was it me or was it somebody else? Did I not understand? Let me put myself in their shoes and look at it from their perspective and gain another lens for me to look at the world and then apply that going forward, which again is part of the ascension process. But moving into this on multiple levels, meaning we're going to be challenged in new and different ways. And I'm excited about it because this is what
Yeah.
I love. For the people who are not as excited about it, it's about learning how to find calm within yourself through whatever is happening. And it's a skill set, and it takes practice.
The
And it's
journal. Yeah.
yeah, and it's not that we
Having
haven't
the
done this
journals really.
before, because we have done this before. We do it all the time. It's just heightened in spiritual awakening is really what
Yeah.
it boils down
Yeah.
to.
It's about the things you believe may be questioned. So the
Yeah.
things about the Aquarius, age of Aquarius, is actually really fascinating. Again, it's slow moving, right? So people are like, oh my God, things are
I
gonna
want to
change.
know.
Ah! But it's not, it's gonna take a while. But here's the thing, we all have free will, and planet Earth that we have decided to reincarnate in right now at this time, right? We weren't the only planet who went through something similar, right? There are other planets who've gone through that. Some of you have lived lifetimes in those planets and remember, right? And so we are being called
And you're
really.
talking about the ascension process, right? Part of,
Exactly. Be
okay.
as part of this ascension process, this shift, right? Where because Aquarius is radical. Aquarius is innovative, is radical. Aquarius really forces us because when we talk about the tower moment of systems, outdated beliefs, right? The message I keep hearing is we need an internal shock, right? When we realize, oh my God, everything that I used to believe in maybe didn't work out so well, right? So it's an internal shock, which is why so many of us are being, who are interested in spiritual work are being called really to awaken. We start with ourselves. But also that is why the dragons are showing up
Yeah.
so much because dragon is not just about personal purpose. Dragon protects our light. And the dragons came in a while ago and they told, like, the message they gave to me was that the dragons, more and more dragons, I call them soul path dragons because they are here coming to protect the path of the light workers. Because the light workers are going to be pulled in different directions. And so it's that path to protect because they are here, like the angels, to protect that light, right? And so we are given this opportunity. What do we want the next 20 years to look like for ourselves? Right. But again, because Aquarius is not just us, it's about interconnectedness, right? So for ourselves, but for our world, for our community, for our country, for our world, really, it's about the connectedness and also about like Mother Nature, a lot of that, right? And it's that blending of different, um, um, the word they use is like different duality. So like we are not going to be seeing duality between roles anymore. One of the things they said that you may be a teacher in real life. I mean, in real life, you may be a teacher in the 3D, but that doesn't mean that you cannot carry the light. So what they're showing is the roles, because I think Ian asked me, what roles are we here to play? It's going to collapse, right? And so you are going to be that light worker. You may be asked to show up as a teacher, as a boss, as a CEO, all these, right? In government service. That is what. And then, sorry, before we digress, the very last card is a pure white dragon from Orion. And this is about very, very cool transforming your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. But what I see here in this card, right, the energies for this card, it's the rays. The rays actually, so for the rays initially, first they came to me, I was like, oh, the rays are about connection. It's about our network. But then there's what I'm sensing right now. The rays are the multiple channels we communicate our light, is what it really feels like. So process what you know. That's why the journal is really important. I keep hearing the journal, because write the beliefs you will be asked in the next few years. But it feels like it's starting next year, especially. You're going to be starting, it's for some of you, because you have a purpose to lead with your light, things are going to come fast. You may have tower moments, not to scare you. Tower moments are not always scary, but you may be asked to confront certain things that you thought you believed in, certain things that are no longer working for you. So, keeping that journal and really talking about what are some outdated beliefs that are no longer serving me as I step more into my authentic light. What are the things my parents said? They may not be true. What are the things I say to myself? They may not be true. Um, Keep that journal because you're going to notice this beautiful transformation. But the other thing is to keep that journal. So, because that journal will become almost like little message points for you to share your wisdom. Because you're going to take the next year. They keep saying 2025 is going to be big, going to be big for a lot of us, because I think the word they're using is accelerated acceleration, and so which is good because we are going to be a community, so you're not going to be the only one going through this acceleration ascension process.
Yeah.
We are too. All of us are going to do it together. But so the last thing is process what you know, act with truth, your authentic truth, discernment, honesty, and then let the wings of light grow and expand. But these are going to be the areas where you can communicate. It feels very much like you are be sharing your knowledge, whatever that knowledge is, sharing your gifts as well.
Awesome. So, if I can share what I received while you were reading all that through or bringing all that through, it's about standing in your power in a new way, allowing yourself to stand in your power in a new way, allowing yourself to stand center stage in the spotlight and recognize that the spotlight that is illuminating you is actually your own internal flame. It's your own internal light, and that's your beacon that's going out to others. And it goes back to the my light sees your light, we ignite each other, and together our light ignites the new world. Part of that all ties together through that card. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's just because we're moving into the energetics and not the physicality so much. It's moving all into the energetics. So it's very, very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Yeah. So thank you, thank you. We are do we want to do a short mini healing to close up the what do you feel?
Mm,
What do you think?
I think we did it with the cards because as you were bringing this stuff through with the cards, I was pulling it through
Okay.
for people who are on the call, but also for the people who are recording it, so that energy bubble is there for us that we all walked through it. Um, I do think that calling in and setting an intention for the Pluto and Aquarius for ourselves to
Because
because what
today is the day we
yeah,
move.
today is the day. It happened at 3 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern is when the shift finally happened. We've been bouncing back and forth for a while, but it we left Capricorn for the last time. And so because what I'm seeing is setting an intention, allowing yourself to set an intention to get your to know yourself on a completely different level, and to really get curious about all of the things that show up, whether they're positive or negative, because all of them are a part of you. And then they're showing me kind of like the how the swing goes up and forward and backwards, forward and backwards, forward and backwards. And sometimes it can be fun and exciting, and sometimes it can be a little disheartening because
Yeah.
it's different. So giving yourself the grace to understand that these things are coming up for you, not to you. The for you is in shifting into that for you, not to you perspective is going to be one of the many lessons that comes to the forefront for people. And it's going to happen on multiple different levels. Again, they're showing me back and forth, going up the ladder, coming down a couple steps, or going up the stairs and coming back a few places to try it again with that new perception. Um,
Yeah.
and allowing the expansion in the heart to be easy and gentle, and then calling in all of the dragons to assist, specifically Archangel Michael and the deep blue dragons, to help clear your space, to set up sacred space for you and provide that guidance on when it's time to slow down and when it's time to accelerate, because it's
Yeah.
going to be different for everyone. It's going to be different for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing that I got, remember about the journal, the word finally came through. It's called the soul journal. So have a journal. At the very start, I talked about it was very strong. The message that I got was if you are the writing, the person like the writing sort, even if you're not, right, you could record it. But have it, it's called the soul journal, or you could have the soul path journal, the soul purpose journal, but the soul journal feels very correct as the energy. And so that journal that you're using is sacred. So honor that journal. So what you're writing in there is really about the shift that's happening. You are writing all your fears. You are writing discomfort. You're writing all the beliefs because you will very soon, as if
Yeah.
those of you are, because a lot of us, I feel like, a lot of us who are drawn to this work or watching this and watching this a replay, you're going to have an accelerated growth because we are
Mhm.
kind of like, let's go, let's go, let's go, right? Again, the angels saying, answer the call. Not just the angels, the galactics, right? They were a star seed. They're saying, answer the call, right? And so this is really about going back to your inner truth and your inner wisdom and light. And so, again, right? So, keeping that journal, what are some of the fears? Are they doubts? What's coming up? Exploring it on your like past life, exploring it on your ancestral line. What did my parents, my grandparents on my father's side, what do they think about walking your soul purpose? What do they think about spiritual work? And then exploring on your mother's side, right? Doing meditative journeys, right? So for those who feel called to do shamanism, do that. Those who are called to do Akashic Records work, those who are called to do all sorts of different kinds of healing, Reiki or any of the other modalities, right? Write that down, write your journey down, write how you have been shifting and changing, and keep that because at the end of 2025, you're going to look back at it, but they're saying that for some of you, in fact, for a lot of you, this is almost going to be you're like, oh my God, this is my message. This is my message right here. This is my purpose, and this is my message. And it's going to be a profound aha moment because the age of Aquarius, I mean, the Aquarius, it's all about that revelation. We are all on the collective level going to feel that profound awakening, but revelation on the deeper level. And so, even though it's going to take 20 years for us who are light workers, it's going to be really fast because we feel the
Yeah.
energy way before everyone else because we are called to lead with the light. We are leaders, change makers, right? And so, feel comfortable. If you're like, oh, I don't think I'm one of those, ask yourself why. Because you are, but 2 years ago, if you would tell me that this is what I'm going to doing today, I'm like, you gotta be crazy.
Yeah.
No way. Such a huge burden. But again, so if you feel that way, know that you are not alone. And we have
Yeah.
community here to reach out to us. But yeah, if you
Yeah.
feel anytime you feel, yeah, if you feel like if you write in the journal, I am a leader and I am a change maker, and you feel,
Yeah.
investigate that because you
Investigate.
are
Get
peeling
curious.
back the layers. It's
Yeah.
going to be profound revelation and it's going to be fast and furious. For a lot of
That's,
us, it will be
yeah.
fast and furious, but then again, community. We are all here
We're
to
all in this
support you.
together. Yeah,
Yes.
I just Metatron just came in and he was showing me kind of like Johnny Appleseed. Right now we're all planting all these different seeds and some of us have been planting seeds for a while. And that's part of the journaling is to keep track of the different seeds that are planted because it may take time for some of them to ripen is what they're saying. So keeping track of them in the journal is going to be really important, but also allowing yourself and giving yourself grace to try these new things. It's all about
Yes.
experimentation again. Experimentation leads to expansion. Experimentation leads to expansion. They just keep saying that over and over again. So awesome. Okay, I'm
So
done.
thank you for having us. And we will pop on, here and more often in the next few weeks.
Yeah,
Because again, we're all riding this energy
yeah,
of expansion,
yep,
radical transformation is what they say.
yep,
Radical transformation for ourselves and for
yeah,
the community. But again, the angels keep saying, we are leading first. We go
yep,
first. So
yep,
get used to being the leader for your family, your community, yourself, right? I mean, for your community. So get used to
yeah,
that. Get used to feeling comfortable holding the light and sharing the light, knowing you
yeah.
are worthy of the light. Okay. And we will see you very soon.
Yeah. Peace, love, and
Thank you so
happiness,
much.
everyone.
And if you have any questions, again, really just use this community and this space.
Oh,
Dawn and I work
yeah.
with dragons a lot, and we teach Reiki. So if you're ever interested and you want to have a conversation with us, we're an
Yeah,
open book. Just reach
absolutely.
out to us. We're happy to walk you through it. If there's past life things you feel you want to clear, ancestral things, Dawn and I are really good at doing that. And if you want to learn 5 element dragon fire Reiki, with Reiki amplified with dragon fire, we do that as well. And
Dragon
so,
magic. Dragon
and
magic.
dragon magic and dragon medicine. And that's a
Yeah.
whole different, deeper level
Yeah.
of
It's
healing.
it's a completely different level.
Yeah.
Yep.
So reach out to us, and we are happy and honored, to
Oh,
have you here listening to us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
thank you. Love to
Thank
all.
you.